Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the SEDA special regular meeting to order with roll call, please.
Board Member Van Gordon.
Here.
Board Member Weber.
Here.
Board Member Moe.
Here.
Vice Chair Rodley.
Here.
Board Member Blackwell.
Here.
Board Member Doyle.
Here.
Chair Pictionary. Here. And Board Member Lovall.
Here. Thank you. First item would be new business.
Yes, I have the first item. It's the short-term lease for an emergency warming shelter, and this went to council last week on the 16th. And just for a quick recap, St. Vincent de Paul provides warming services in both Springfield and Eugene, typically for 15 to 30 nights per season. Historically, they've been in churches throughout Eugene and Springfield, but over the last several years, they have had a challenge finding a new church to take them on. So in that time, we've found locations for them throughout the city in the last few years at the Memorial Building. On October 9th, the city received a request from St. Vincent de Paul asking to use SEDA's Memorial Building. They have used the building before, currently with a lease agreement between the city and SEDA. So it's SEDA's building, SEDA leases it to the city, and then the city subleases it to St. Vincent de Paul. We're asking the SEDA board tonight to authorize the city manager to enter into a lease with the city or with SEDA on behalf of the city at this meeting. So any questions?
Yes, any questions from the board? Go ahead, Steve.
This is a Band-Aid. But we need the Band-Aid. The goal is really somehow do something about our homeless people out there. And so I support it, but in the long run, we need to be trying to find a solution out there. I don't know what it is. The other night, a lady testified that Oregon has the highest rate of homeless in the nation. And I'm looking around my state, how we are in the state. How did that happen? Is that true? Actually, I'm not sure that's true or not. I can't believe it. But what are the other states doing? And that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about tonight, but I do remember that testimony.
Interesting.
Yes, go ahead. Council Pictionary. Just one piece of information based on the feedback from council. St. Vincent de Paul did provide a mitigation plan. Tim Black is here in the audience that outlines outreach to the surrounding blocks of the neighborhood and the businesses that are in a kind of view of the memorial building that includes the post office, the barber shop, the insurance place, all in that area. So they have provided that documentation.
And you were able to contact him in regards to the actual residences in there too?
Yes. There's a 2-block radius in their mitigation plan.
Counselor Doyle?
So my only concern with that, I appreciate that because that was a concern, having seen what goes on there, is are there enough volunteers to do this? Because I know that oftentimes there's problems with getting enough volunteers to even just man the shelter. So, now you're saying, well, we're gonna take care of this other situation that could happen, which may not be just on those cold nights. People are gonna now they're gonna know that that's a place, and then we're gonna start seeing people hanging out there, and it was a mess last year. So I'm just asking about your mitigation plan, if you have the people to be able to promise that.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and speak.
Thank you, and thank you all. We do appreciate it. Yeah, it changes a little every year, and it's getting a little harder every year, whether or not that's the safety net's going away, increased mental health, the fentanyl, whatever it is. We're challenged because we really have no jurisdiction once we leave the property. But having said that, our volunteers always go way above and beyond, and it's really more quality than quantity, especially with our Springfield's Corps. I think you all know a number of the folks we're talking about, and David Strahan, I'd have to lock him to his house if I told him not to drive by the building every day and check on things and clean up poop and everything else that he does. So as an organization, St. Vincent de Paul is committed to checking on it on a regular basis, even if we're not open. Last year was an issue with 31 nights. We don't, expect that again. But when we're not there, it is a real challenge. We understand that. And we know we had a particular person or two last year that was camped by that door right across from the post office for a long time, and there's no easy solutions. Springfield Police are great partners with us, and we do whatever the legal parts are that we need to do to make it clear to them that trespassing is trespassing. And yes, we want them to respond to trespassing. And we have no questions at all about calling the police when we need extra help. And I hope we don't have to do that. So we always need more volunteers, and we have some orientations coming up. If anybody's ever been thinking about it.
Signed up, so.
But Art Springfield, I wish that I could convey for you how this Springfield crew is different from all the other sites. They really are a family. They're tight. We have a lot of new young volunteers that are kind of taking over the reins, and the future is bright for that group. Having said that, I have to underscore what Mr. Moe said as well, that we need a good 20-year plan to figure this out, and people want a solution yesterday, and it's not.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe some of the things that we've heard last few sessions, I guess, from the business owners, and I'm just kind of wondering, maybe this is a question for the chief of our Pine Police Department, does this building in particular have a trespass order filed with the city? So if there is a problem, like Mike described, that we have a vehicle of which the Springfield Police can respond in a timely fashion so that the surrounding businesses don't feel threatened like they have in the past?
I don't know if there is with that building or not, but I can certainly find out.
I think if we're, as an entity, going to sublease that should be a requirement from whoever, from a SEDA board to the city, that they also exercise a trespass order. So those procedures are in order. So if there is a problem, we have a vehicle which to solve it.
Yeah, just a quick comment. I think too, Chief, that those trespass letters are for when the people that are not at the property, when there's a person there. As far as authority to call and have.
Correct. After the warming hours are over, then if someone stays like he had described,
Right.
then we have a vehicle.
If they don't have anybody to call a complaint.
Right.
The officers can go by and see it and arrest.
And they do a great job. We've had worked with them many times before.
Excellent. Anyone else? Questions, comments? I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we authorize the city manager to draft and execute a short-term lease between SEDA and the city of Springfield for SEDA-owned property at 765 A Street to facilitate city sublease to St. Vincent de Paul of Lane County for use as an emergency warming shelter.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Take all those in favor with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Is there any other items?
No other items.
I'm adjourning this meeting.